Hello and welcome to your regularly scheduled Abyss review. New version means new Abyss, and what do you expect? So we gotta check it out. Last time I made my controversial statement on that previous Abyss, but I believe that I backed up my opinions with great success. As always, making the camera smaller so you don't see me reading off the script. You get some background footage of the Abyss, and let's begin. This time, though, we have an Abyss that needs to cater to some interesting banners. So let's see how mihoyo handled this one. This is the last time that we will skip floors 9 and 10, though, because the next version is the first Fontaine version, and those floors will change. But right now, we're gonna skip them, and let's get on to floor 11. Starting off with its first chamber, we have a monolith defense, as most of the abysses have had in the Sumeru versions. We had some, we had it disappear for a bit, but it's back. It's mostly back. Monolith defense on the first chamber. The first half contains ruin enemies in 2 waves, and I do have a big tip for you here. On the first wave, you've got the crab and I think 2 snakes. Rush towards the crab that is right ahead of you. It spawns right in front. I did this, and the 2 snakes on the sides aggroed to me and did not attack the monolith at all. This is a huge advantage you can take to help you out if you don't have the strongest teams. And it's just really, really nice and helpful. They group up, like, either one will dig towards you, maybe they will both do the laser attack, but I don't know, for some reason they both did the laser attack on the crab, like where I was, which I don't know if it was random or not, but they did it, so the only way I can think to replicate is, again, go towards the crab and start shooting the bastard, and it should help you a lot. As for the second wave, I tried to rush towards the jellyfish that spawns on your spawn spot, but that didn't help much, so I guess try to kill the side enemies first, is the ones that do the rain attack. Like they don't really have a fish, I guess they are. The second half contains Nobushis and Kairagis, which like to group towards the monolith to attack it. So some AoE to stagger them is gonna be your best bet, and of course try your best to kill the Kairagis at the same time. But since you're not pressured for time, you're pressured for the monolith's health. You can kill one of them and then go for the other one. Just make sure that they don't hit the monolith. Then we go to the second chamber, where on the first half we have a weird array of enemy waves. It starts with some hilichurls and samachurls on various sides of the arena, alongside one pyro mage. Then mitachurls and the new hilichurl ranger appears, and then the last wave is 2 pyro mages and a cryo mage. Really weird stuff, but because we are in floor 11, there is plenty of time to kill all of these waves. Just remember to bring something to break the mage's seals. Anemo is gonna be really easy, but Hydro, Pyro is very easy stuff to play, like a Vape team, right? But there's a lot of teams that can deal with this. Some like Burgeon easily kills them. But yeah, like, it's a really weird like wave structure, but it's okay. And of course the enemies don't have health, they're like hilichurls, right? And the rangers as well, floor 11, not much health. And then the second half is chock full of Ishhaps, but again, floor 11, lots of time, and they don't have much health. Last chamber for floor 11. The first half has a Pyro Lector and a Cryo Herald. So whoever you brought for the mages is gonna help you big time here for these guys, right? Anemo will also, again, still help you out, but Hydro and Pyro is the main thing, right? Electro can also do it. But again, it's nice that the mages on the second chamber help you out on the third one, to set up for the third one. You do have a lower time limit here, but these guys die really quickly with the appropriate elemental counters, right? And the second half is just a bunch of enemies which just need some beating, and you should be good. There's some variety on stuff, but like, seriously, just beat the crap out of them. Like, there's no elemental counters here. That's floor 11. It is a very easy floor 11 with a very, very small elemental check. It should be easy for you to take on this floor. But I threw in, some of the tips, especially for the ruin enemies, to help less powerful players. Let's get on to the big boy floor 12. Starting with the first half, on the first chamber we have dogs. Many dogs of both elemental varieties, Electro and Geo, and then after two waves of them, come a Pyrolector and two big dogs. AoE is king here. It will help you deal with the small dogs very quickly, but the biggest problem is the Lecter. And unfortunately, because they really want to sell Kokomi to you, we need to have the dogs plus the need for Hydro, so you will need to bring both of these. I tested many teams here, and the best one, surprisingly, was a Child Ayato Hypercarry team. I put Bennett, Kazuha, and these two together. Yes, I put two on-field carries together, but they decimated this half. Just Kazuha grouping the small dogs, and then Child obliterates them. Like, just a gajillion amount of numbers appear, and they are gone. And then this team has a lot of Hydro application to deal with the Lecter. It's got healing through Bennett to heal up, right? It just decimated this. It was really fun. I also tried my Kave Burgeon team. It's Yao Yao, Kave, Xingqiu, and Toma, built for Burgeon, and it did very respectfully. It did really well. It has the AoE for the dogs, and Xingqiu is pretty good enough to deal with the Lecter. Burgeon doesn't help you that much as it did previously with the Cryo Boys and the Hydro guy, Last Abyss. But again, Xingqiu is really much enough. And yeah, although you cannot proc Burgeon on the guy once he has a shield up, it's just plain impossible. You need the doggies. But surprisingly, as far as I could see, the Lecter just instantly dies. Like, he has no health. It's the shield that is the problem. So most likely the guy's gonna be on the shield and the dogs are gonna be around him, so you should be able to trigger Burgeon. But again, Xingqiu, Yellen, someone like that will take care of him. Quick Bloom teams should do really well here, or just Hyper Bloom. I tried the Seno Quick Bloom team and it did very well, so try those. And do put some more suggestions in the comments to help others out. I don't have every character in the game. I don't have the time to test every single thing. I don't have every character built right. So, if you do and you have some nice, easy teams to play, put them in the comments, help others out. This, of course, goes for the entire Abyss, but this is the main elemental check, actually, for this Abyss. Because on the second half, there are three waves here. First one is three Dorito enemies, the ruin enemies that are, from the desert. Second is two Vishap hatchlings. And the last wave is two of the Rangers, the Hillager Rangers, and an Electro Lava Churl. You might need Electro for the Doritos, but also killing them quickly is an option before they go invisible. The problem in this half is that everything spawns as far away from you as possible. Like, why? The hatchlings spawn on the other side of the arena from where the Doritos spawn, and then the Rangers and the Lava Churl are all on different sides, and the Rangers refuse to group up at first. Like, they do some other bullshit attacks, and then they run towards you. Fuck's sake. So target one of the Rangers, because the Lava Churl would just jump at you and chase you while they don't. So yeah, just go towards the Ranger. You'll be hitting both him and the Lava Churl, and then maybe the other guy will come towards you. Maybe you can push them together. Grouping, with Kazuha will help, or even Venti should. But yeah, if you don't have that, just target the Ranger, Lava Churl would jump at you, you'll be dealing damage to both of them, then go to the other guy. And yeah, that's it. And yes, yeah, it is a bit painful, but it can be done. And all of the enemies don't have that much health. The Doritos go down easily, the hatchlings are hatchlings, the Rangers don't have that much health, same with the Lava Churl. Be careful not to get one-shot by it. But again, it's okay. If you have the proper team for the first half, you should have plenty of time for the second half. Onwards to the second chamber then. First half is two waves. First contains two Eremites and two Pyroslingers, and then the second wave contains a group of shadowy husks of various elements and types. The Eremite and the Fatui are very easy. Just target a Fatui guy, since the Eremite girls will just run to you. It's the Hydro Dagger girls. They will just run at you, and then AoE is your best friend to destroy the husks. Just make sure not to get your stuff blocked by the big axe guy. Be careful when he puts up his shield. Also, he really loves to do the spinny attack. But, they can be grouped, they can be CC'd, right? So AoE is the big one, right? It might take you a decent time for this half. Actually, there's 2 waves, and again, the husks can have a bit of health. But it's okay, because the second half contains Asimon. This boss has appeared many times throughout these versions, and it's become super easy to kill. Yes, Electro and even Dendro will make it very easy, the easiest to defeat Asimon, but I believe there are workarounds to its mechanics. But yeah, take some time on the first half and then obliterate the Asimon, and you should be good. Many, many teams did. I tried, and they just pop this guy, or just slot in an Electro character, and it's enough to just deal with everything. Last chamber, we have 2 waves again. First is an Eremite girl and dude, the really base versions. And the second one is a Mirror Maiden and an Eremite Spirit Spawner. It's the Scorpion Lady, I believe, or some weird other thing. I couldn't really actually make the shape of this thing. The first wave is easy, but they both have aura, so yes, slowing waters can fuck you, so watch out for it. But the biggest problem is that in both the first and second chamber, you need Hydro for the elemental shields. I tried Electro on the Herald, it worked, but for some reason the Fatui Pyroslingers don't take damage from Electro attacks on their shields. Even though, again, the Lectors can. The Baptist takes damage from those attacks, so what makes them special, huh, mihoyo? Fucking stupid designs. Instead of updating the enemies, just let them be, right? Fuck's sake. Anyways, yeah, like both the first and second chamber need Hydro for these, and then there's a Mirror Maiden. Like they shove a Mirror Maiden at your face, which has high Hydro resistance, and she's tanky, and she teleports. Why the fuck is she here? Why isn't it Why isn't it 2 Eremites? Huh? Why isn't it 2 Eremite dudes? Like 2 Eremite spirit spawners, and there's a Mirror Maiden, which again fucks you up because you brought a Hydro character to deal with the shields. What? Is it because Kokomi doesn't deal that much damage, so she doesn't, she isn't needed, she just stands there? Fuck you, mihoyo. Fuck you. I mean, it's not the biggest problem, but as I told you, I brought like the Ayato and Child team. Right, there's only Hydro there. Right, it obliterated everything. No joke, it destroyed the first halves. But, like, there's a Maiden. Like, you're gonna need a Nemo, you need Viridescent here in order to take this bitch down with just Hydro. Fuck them. Fuck you, mihoyo. Fuck you, this is stupid beyond reason. Fuck you, and I know why you did it, but fuck you. And on the second half, there is the Vishap boss, the Vishap Herd, with the Spirit Link mechanic, so you will need to split your damage equally, or, just carefully, to take them down close in time. They always do the same attacks, so learn the pattern and adjust rotations accordingly. And the biggest thing is to avoid or tank the energy draining attacks, so that they don't fuck you up. Be careful with like energy heavy teams, right? Like say Xiao or even Al Haitham. Be careful, tank them with burst iframes where they won't drain your energy and not to do damage. But again, be careful. There is something that I noticed though, in the enemy menu before you start the Abyss where you check the enemies that it says are on this half are not the boss. It should show the Vishap Herd icon and say Baptismal Vishap Herd, but it only mentions the regular non-hatchling Vishaps. So that needs fixing, because that is 100% misleading. No joke, because, again, it doesn't say the herd, it only shows regular Vishaps. I don't know if they fucked up, because even if this is the Soul Link, or whatever the mechanic is called, if it is that mechanic version of the boss, it should still show the boss, right? So they fucked up there. That needs fixing. Just, message it to them. Like hell, they're gonna fix it. As for me, I did this Abyss using the Child team that I mentioned, plus Al Haitham on the second half. Al Haitham double Dendro, double Electro, and it was pretty easy, but there are many teams that can take care of this one, with the only problem being the need for Hydro on the first halves. A Dendro team with Al Haitham Mortinari easily takes on the second halves. And I would guess hyper carries I did try, like Hutao also do well. You can just slot it like official on a Hutao team. Yes, it isn't the optimal thingy, but just dealing with Asimon is enough. Well, and yeah, and also like while Scaramouche is on this version's banners, I don't see where you can use him without really well invested teams. You need someone like Xingqiu or Yellen for the first half, and then of course you need C6 Faruzan, right? And he is. There are more problems with Scaramouche on both of the halves. And as for Eula, I also fail to see where she will do good. Her teams don't use Hydro for the first half, and then she will have problems on the second half. Same with Klee. She doesn't use Vaporize much. Yes, people do run Vape Klee, but Monopyro is really her best teams. Maybe some Virgin variants. And the second half has a lot of running around, so there is a problem a bit with stamina. I don't think she has lots of like stamina reducing things on her charge attacks, which are her main damage source. So this isn't really a great abyss for anybody. It Scaramouche should do well, but again, like he needs shielding, you need Hydro, you need C6 Faruzan. Where would you fit? Where will you fit all of this? You need healing if you're gonna bring the first half. Like it's an interesting. The only character they're selling is fucking Kokomi. And that's it. That's it. I did try many teams. I tried the Kave Virgin team. I tried Inari, Al Haitham, Hutao. I don't think that Mono Geo is gonna do really well. I did try Xiao with just Xingqiu chilling around, and it did do okay, but not the best. Please just bring some recommendations into the comments. But that is it. This I do believe is an easier Abyss than before, but I gotta say I didn't enjoy it as much as 3.7. I didn't enjoy it as the previous one. There was a need for skill and thought in the previous one, and also changing your teams for the elemental checks. While here it's more just a bit shit up with the annoying Mirror Maiden on a half that needs Hydro. I did like that I unbenched my child and Ayato for later floors, and they decimated him. But still, it wasn't that crazy fun. But that's it. Like the video if you liked it, sub to the channel to help it out. Follow me on Twitch to see everything live. I wrote the script live. We played the Abyss live. You can see my reactions instantly. And other stuff. And follow me on Twitter for other random things. I post random stuff every now and then. You like it, like it. See ya. Goodbye. And I hope to see you in another video. Bye.